G'day all you wonderful people, welcome to Adventure Together. My name's Al, trail name Lookout, and today I am climbing hills to try and get about 36 miles. I thought I was going to slow it down in Washington, but turns out I can't help myself, have to push myself, have to do long days. So we are just about to pass 2,200 miles on the PCT, and that is more than what I did on the Appalachian Trail. If you watch the end of yesterday's episode, you will know that the AT is 2,100, or at least when I did it, 2,194.3 miles. I believe this year it was 2,198.4, went up, and once we get to 2,200 we will surpass that. All that babbling out the way. Today we're going to a open meadow apparently, and apparently there's a nice view from there. We'll see, I don't know. Probably no view with all the smoke that's in the air. Can't see 5 feet in front of me at some points. Last night I had the most terrible night's sleep. Awful. So if you saw 2 episodes ago, you will have seen at the end of that I got attacked by a swarm of hornets, and they stung up my legs something awful, and those stings last night were itching uncontrollably. There was nothing I could do. I slathered myself in cortisone cream whole night, just barely able to sleep, completely itching. Then waking up this morning after about 2 hours of solid sleep, managed to get through it, and I just felt awful. So 4 shots of coffee to get me going this morning. And where we are in the year, every day is getting shorter. So whereas I used to walk through the dark for less than an hour, it's going to be about 2 hours this morning. Something like that, I don't know. So, tough days, tough nights, no sleep, stung to death by hornets. Let's see if today gets any better. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to mile 2,200. We are officially above and beyond the mileage of the Appalachian Trail, and we are heading to Canada. We've got 455.2 miles to go. Oh my goodness. When I say it like that, it seems like a lot. It is a lot, but 2,200 is more, and that's in the bank. Time to get a dodgy photo in the dark with this. Indian Heaven Wilderness. All wilderness means to me is overgrown and lots of fallen trees. It's an interesting name for a trail, Shortcut Trail, and the Indian Racetrack. That's my trail though, Pacific Crest Trail. Although what's unusual is most of the people that I've spoken to that aren't doing the trail recently have been calling it the Pacific Coast Trail, the Pacific Coast Trail. We're not near the coast, haven't seen the sea, haven't swum in the waters of the salty ocean, so no Pacific Coast Trail. I want to just do a coast trail where I just like follow all of the beaches, like just go down promenades and stuff, and not have to climb over mountains, just like this flat boardwalk, and be like, hey, what's the highlight of today? Oh, we're going to pass by an arcade, and we're going to go to a vegan restaurant, and then you're going to walk down Venice Beach. Cool. Any climbs to do? No, whole thing's flat all the way along. Enjoy. I think that would be harder. Another hazy day in southern Washington. When I entered Maine on the AT, I started seeing mushrooms everywhere. Now I've entered Washington, I'm starting to see giant mushrooms everywhere. Not everywhere, just here. This is a hard state so far, and also it's green tunnel so far, and also mushrooms. So that means that Washington is basically a West Coast Maine, and that's all. That's the results, the conclusion that I've extrapolated to using that data set. So I've stopped about 11 o'clock and that's it. I'm having lunch. I'm just feeling very, very, very weary. My body feels like it doesn't want to cooperate. My legs feel like they're super, super heavy, and I just don't feel like I've got any real energy to put into going fast. My feet hurt. I mean, I don't really want to go on about the negative stuff, but I had a plan on how I was going to remedy this situation. So let's have a look at what's going on. I've had nearly a litre of electrolytes. I had my lunch, which was cold soaked couscous with a lot of seasoning, and now I'm having what is basically a cheap version of an iced coffee, some 2 Folgers sachets and some water, and I'm going to finish up the electrolytes, and hopefully the calories, the caffeine and the electrolytes will give me a boost. When I was eating at first, I got swarmed, so I've stuck on some insect repellent. Here we are, lunch of champions. Let's hope it gives me the pep I need to get to camp at a reasonable time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've been walking for about 15 minutes after having my little lunch that I showed you, and I'm feeling remarkably better. I don't know what it is, but recently, although I feel completely satiated at the time and almost like I couldn't eat any more food, my breakfast doesn't seem to be propelling me all the way through the day as it used to. And at this point I really don't know what else I can do. 4-shot coffee this morning, having 4 packs of oats, protein powder, peanut butter, all mixed in together. Sometimes I have like ground up chia seeds. Like, I don't know. I'm getting to a point where my stomach is completely full after breakfast. I can't eat anymore for a little while, but at the same time, that the energy, it just doesn't seem to be lasting as long. It seems to be running through those calories very quickly, and running through the little bars and other pocket snacks that I keep with me in my hip belt pocket. I run through them very quickly, whereas I used to be able to space out less bars for over a longer period. Not sure how long this is going to last. The plan is I'm going to be doing these 30s for 2 more days after today, and then I'm going to dramatically reduce my mileage. I'm going to pick up my next resupply box at White Pass, and then after that I'm going to be reducing my miles down to about 24 or 25 a day. And I know the terrain is going to get tougher, I know the weather's going to get worse, but that's my plan, is to counter that with less miles. I've done all the sums, all the planning, all the sort of scheduling and whatever. With the amount of miles I've got left and the date that I want to finish, my mileage does not need to be anywhere near 30 ever again after White Pass. So with White Pass in 3 days time, 4 days time, something like that, that's the last of the big miles, and I'm hoping that after that, and I go back down to mid-20s like I was in the desert, I won't feel this way. I won't feel exhausted at 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, and the food that I do have will be able to carry me through the day. We've talked about this before, a long time ago actually, now I think about it. It was back when I was in the Sierra, about this idea of getting to a point of diminishing returns, needing more food because you need the energy because you're falling flat during the day. But if you carry any more food, that extra weight is going to require you to have more energy to carry it, because if you carry that extra weight of food, you're going to exhaust yourself sooner. So trying to find that sweet spot of enough food to carry you through the day, enough calories, enough carbohydrates, proteins and fats, but not going past that point and using most of that extra food that you're carrying, all the energy in it is used to carry itself. You know, when you're walking for 13-14 hours a day, carrying all that extra weight of extra food. I've got all my resupplies planned. I don't plan on adding to them, and with the miles reducing very soon, I feel confident that everything will go back into the way it's supposed to be. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen, a 34.4 mile day. I was made aware by the comments on Far Out that there was a site close to a meadow. Couldn't get closer than this, you know, a stone's throw from the meadow, and a nice leave no trace kind of site here. I'm not harming the environment by being parked in the meadow. Just here, seems good, in the forest. I am exhausted. I feel absolutely done. And I'm going to put up my tent and we'll talk about it more as soon as I'm comfortable and in the tent. Well, post construction of the Green Palace is complete for another night, and I just wanted to talk to you about how I feel I've hit a wall. Not mentally, I feel physically drained, but mentally I feel as strong and positive as ever. There's no chance of me leaving the trail voluntarily at this stage. Physically, that's where I'm starting to feel it. This has now become the longest continuous hike I've ever done. I'm currently at 2,230 miles walked. That's the longest continuous walk I've done, and I've done it 50 days quicker than I did the AT, and I've been pushing harder every day than I was on the AT, and that comes with feeling physically fit. That also comes with walking alone and not having to curtail to the time restrictions of others and the pace of others. That tangent explored, back to the main point of feeling exhausted. I feel like I've been pushing very, very hard for a very long time. 30 miles a day, sort of minimum through Oregon, coming up here and hitting harder terrain and not lowering the mileage. I will do it. I've said it earlier on. I will get to that point where I reduce the miles, and that will be very, very soon. But today was probably my hardest day in a very long time. I felt like I was pushing my body further than it wanted to go from probably about 9 o'clock in the morning, maybe a bit before. I continued to push my body the whole day to get here. I know I've got it in me, and that's part of having a stronger will, I guess, or maybe I'm just stupid. I felt now that today was really, really tough. And I don't know if that's just today was really tough or because I've been walking over 30 miles a day for over a month, because I've been pushing my body to the limit continually. It could be a mixture of both. It could be that I've now walked a longer distance than I've ever walked before, but I just feel physically done. And that is when the mind starts to crack. Not mine, but I've seen it in others, that they're fine and then suddenly something clicks, and it's because they are exhausted. And that's when they stop enjoying the trail, and that's when they stop wanting to be here, and it's just walking to complete it. And I don't want to get to that point. I'm going to sort of monitor my situation over the next couple of days, but I just wanted to share that with you. I'm sorry that today has been a little bit of a dull one, the same as yesterday, but I'm being attacked by hornets again. Fun times. Anyway, I won't labour the point any longer. I will close it up here. Let's put a pin in that thought and come back to it when we've got a little bit more to talk about. But for today, that's all I have for you. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.